Hey everybody, welcome back. This is I'm Chris, and this is Daily Reflections with Chris. So thank you for joining me today. Today is February the 23rd, so we're gonna reflect on that. For those of you who are new to this channel, what I do here is share my experience, strength, and hope as it pertains to recovery. And I use this book called The Daily Reflections to guide me to pick a topic, something to share about. So I guess we'll get started, right? Always, folks too, also, always, if you ever have any questions, you can, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. I have, my Instagram's a different name, it's Chris Ceremonies, but you can just look me up by my name. I'm pretty sure Chris Contreras, and then, look me up if you have any questions, if you need suggestions, or maybe you need to get to some type of recovery, toasted meeting somewhere, or anything. Just if you just want to chat, you can do that too. But we'll get started. Okay, so today's February 23rd. It says mysterious paradoxes. Such is the paradox of AA regeneration. Strength arising out of complete defeat and weakness. The loss of one's old life as a condition for finding a new one. That's from AA Comes of Age, page 46. What glorious mysteries paradoxes are. They do not compute, yet when recognized and accepted, they reaffirm something in the universe beyond human logic. When I face fear, I am given courage. When I support a brother or sister, my capacity to love myself is increased. When I accept pain as part of the growing experience of life, I realize a greater happiness. When I look at my dark side, I am brought into new light. When I accept my vulnerabilities and surrender to a higher power, I am graced with unforeseen strength. I stumbled through the doors of AA in disgrace, expecting nothing from life, and I have been given hope and dignity. Miraculously, the only way to keep the gifts of the program is to pass them on. Wow. So, really good topic, the paradoxes of AA. The paradoxes of AA, ever since the beginning to me, even though I didn't realize it, I realize it now looking back, right? But the paradoxes is like everything opposite of what Chris would do, or Chris would say, or Chris would think. First one, you gotta give it away to keep it. I didn't come in with that thinking. I was like, what? No way. I'm not sure I'm keeping this. I wasn't even thinking of like the program yet, or recovery, or helping another suffering alcoholic. I was just thinking about money and stuff and friends. And I was, and I was greedy with that stuff. I was like not sharing none of that stuff. Just like I didn't share my drugs or my alcohol. I just didn't. I mean, like, I wanted it all for me because I needed to make sure I had enough till I could get some more. And that's the kind of thinking that I came in with. If I would tell people that I'm scared, they would say, oh, you scared? Go to church. Ah, ha, ha, ha. And so I stopped telling people when I was scared. And I thought that I had to be strong all the time. I thought that I had to be happy all the time. I thought that I can't say a wrong word without really being hard on myself. I mean, like, recovery for me has been more internally than externally. As they told me, another paradox, they said, when the inside changes, the outside changes. And a lot of this stuff, I didn't really understand it at first. I had to just kind of keep coming back, just kind of keep listening, just kind of keep doing the steps, just kind of just doing recovery. And little by little, because of situations that, life still happens. I stopped drinking and life continued to happen. Breakups continued to happen. Relationships, good and bad ones, they all continue to happen. Job change, job loss, job increase, job decrease, finances, really, really good sometimes. Finances really, really bad sometimes. Life just continues to happen. So pretty much when I came in here, I was backwards. As a matter of fact, when I first started, they tell me, whatever you want to do the opposite of that. I was like, that's crazy. You don't even know what the opposite is. I mean, and I learned a lot about opposites because of that suggestion. But I was like, you don't even know what opposites are. Like, how can you even tell me that? You don't even know what I'm thinking. But I knew what I was thinking. I knew what I was living in my life. And when I would go out and do things and I would think, hey, I'm going to call, I would remember, no, opposite. I'm not going to call. Hey, I'm going to run. Opposite. I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay. Opposite. You should probably get going. And then I said, but what about when I don't know what to do? Or I don't have I don't have my mindset on any way. I said, don't do nothing then. Just be cool. It's like, just be cool. I am cool. I wasn't cool. I'm cool most of the days now, but so once in a while I'll lose it. So some of the paradoxes it talks about here, that when I face fear, I'm given courage. I accept pain as a growing experience of my life. When I support a brother or sister, my capacity to love myself is increased. When I look at my dark side, I am brought to new light. When I accept my vulnerabilities and surrender to a higher power, I am graced with unforeseen strength. And it just comes over and over and over about the paradoxes. All men of courage have faith. That was kind of strange. What I thought was weakness was strength. What I thought was humility, I wasn't. And there's a ton of them. I don't have any besides the ones here on the reading to share with you, but I will share one. Mostly because I feel like that's probably what I'm going through right now. And I like to relate these readings to my personal life as I'm living it right now, or I once lived it when I was drinking and drugging. And so I mentioned that I looked into opposites a lot. I heard a pastor one time, she was like, you know, what is the opposite? You know what the opposite of awe is? And I was like, what? The opposite of awe, A-W-E. And I was like, no. I mean, it wasn't a back and forth conversation, but I heard her on the television. And she said the opposite of awe is taking things for granted. And that blew my mind. That blew my mind because I was kind of in a funk at that time, and I'm kind of probably in the still funk right now. It's like, what happened? If I'm not in awe right now, what happened? Sorry, I have dogs. And they're fighting with the cat. And they're fighting with my roommate's cat. That's how they talk, I guess. So when she said that, I had to look at myself. Chris, are you taking things for granted? For instance, my job right now, where I'm nervous, I'm in fear, I'm a little scared because they're cutting my hours just because that's just the way things are right now. They're cutting my hours, nothing personal, it's just the way things are. And I'm freaking out a little bit because even though I don't have any kids or anything like that, I still worry a little bit about my finances. So anyway, I've been kind of like in a mood, in a zone where I don't really care to be in this mood and in this zone. I really don't care to be there because it's frustrating. I know I can't control nothing. It's outside of me. I know that it's not personal. I know that my boss has to do stuff she doesn't even want to do as far as cutting our hours. I know, but still, it's like not enough for me to know right now. I'm just still kind of like, my gut hurts. So when talking about opposites, and I remember that the opposite of all is taking things for granted. It's like, I remember a time where if my boss would give me 1 or 2 days like that, like I would be so grateful just to have 1 or 2 days. Because there was a time that I didn't work. I didn't work for a whole year almost. 2022 was a really hard year for me. I didn't work most of the year, and I spent a lot of time behind on my rent, behind on my credit card payments, behind on my car payments. Like, it was a really rough time for me. And I remember just getting those first paychecks and how grateful I was. Like, oh my God, yes, finally I'm getting, I'm making some progress here. I have a job. I got a paycheck coming in. I got to get caught up on my bills, and once in a while I get to take myself out to eat, pay my rent. It's really, really nice having that paycheck. But somewhere along the way, I started complaining about my job, and I get into this attitude, like borderline attitude, where like, oh, I don't need you. But I know that's not true. I know that's not true. I do need them. So even though I don't say things like that, a part of me is still wondering, Chris, are you not in awe anymore? Are you not in love with your life right now? Are you not in love with your job? Are you taking your job for granted? Are you taking your life for granted? Are you taking your 2 arms and your 2 legs for granted? Are you taking your nice home for granted? Are you taking your phone for granted? Are you taking your literature for granted? Are you taking your computer for granted? Are you taking your service work opportunity for granted? Are you taking your home group for granted? Are you taking your parent, your living relatives for granted? Are you taking your roommate for granted? And man, if I go down that list and I would be pretty embarrassed to be checking off no on a bunch of those things. And sometimes it's not until I go out into the world and I see something that's worse, and I think, man, I'm lucky. Today I went to a meeting. We got invited to go as a group to go to a different place, and we all went. And there was another guy there from a different group, and he was sharing. And he was sharing how, when he was out there doing drugs, he gave somebody some drugs, and that person overdosed. And he said, and I have to carry that with me. It's hard carrying that, and I just think, God, I'm so lucky. Up until now, I don't have to carry that, and I'm so lucky. I'm so grateful. I was sitting there just thinking, God, I am so grateful. Man, if I worked 40 hours this week, I'm going to be off tomorrow. I could use a good day off. And I'm just going to leave the rest to you, God. I'm just going to trust that you're going to take care of me as you always have. I'm just going to enjoy my day, enjoy my meal, enjoy my time with my friends, enjoy the fellowship, enjoy what this guy shared with me, reminded me that my life could be so much worse right now. And soon after that, I wasn't thinking about like my hours got cut and how am I going to pay my rent. I wasn't thinking about that. I was grateful for my sobriety, grateful that I hadn't been there yet where that guy had been, and grateful that if I choose to, I never have to go there again. Right? I have that decision today. I have the power to use these tools that I get and AA that can get me through my day, can get me through my funk. Do they always come to me right away? No. That's why I use things like this. The daily reflection. If I make it a regular habit to read this on a daily basis, whether I make a YouTube video or not, if I make a regular habit to read this and reflect on what it is talking about, not on my stuff, but on what this is saying, what this is talking about, then my stuff will seem a lot less important. Because the truth is, folks, I have zero control about what my boss decides to do. I have zero control over that. I can show up to work on time. I can do a really good job. I can leave when I'm asked. I can say yes to a lot of things and be a really good employee. But beyond that, it's up to her. It's up to the bigwigs. And acceptance for me has been a big part of my recovery. As a matter of fact, it says, when I accept my vulnerabilities, I'm vulnerable right now. I'm talking to you vulnerably. That they cut my hours and I'm getting scared. That's vulnerability. And surrender to a higher power. I am blessed with unforeseen strength. So surrender, I don't want to make this video too long, but surrender. My dogs, man, they just like going crazy right now. And it's late, so can't really allow them to stay crazy because my neighbors, they will complain. So, what we're talking about. Oh, surrender. The word surrender. So the word surrender, I didn't like it when I came here. Okay, I'm not gonna surrender. I know what I did. I know what it said. I'm right. You're wrong. It's my way or the highway. Stuff like that. I seriously came in that way. And then somebody said in a meeting, surrender means going to the winning side. And as I evolve, as you will evolve, if you're in recovery and you're consistently working this stuff, you're going to evolve. You're going to start to change. Your life is going to start to really get big. Your circle's going to get small, but your life is going to get big. And you're really going to start to evolve. You're going to become who you want it to be. And then you're going to surpass that by being who God wants you to be. And then you're going to surpass that by, whoa, I'm where God wants me, oh my God, I'm beyond my wildest dreams right now, right? So if you continue to stick around and do the stuff, you'll get there. I mean, I know from experience because I'm there now. I'm beyond my... I still get in my moods though, but I'm in a life beyond my wildest dreams. And so I need things like this. It even says mysterious paradoxes. They mysteriously work. It's a mystery. So it says right here, we're talking about still the word surrender. So I accept my vulnerabilities. So my vulnerability is when people mess, when my paycheck is unstable, I get nervous. I freak out a little bit, right? And surrender to a higher power. So surrender, as I evolved, it went from like, no, I won't, I'm not. Who are you? You don't know who I am. I came in with that kind of ideas, right? And somebody else, and then I heard surrender means going to the winning side. I was like, okay, that's pretty neat. It's pretty cool, right? And right now as I'm reading and right now as I'm sharing and I read surrender to a higher power, what does that look like? What does surrendering to a higher power look like? It could start off something like, I give it all to you. I lift it up to you. This problem, we've been here before. I know you're going to take care of me. Not be putting my input where it's not asked for. Stuff like that. That's a form of surrendering, right? Because instead of trying to put myself right, I know the truth, and I don't have to fight anybody or anything anymore. So I'm not. I would just continue to be like a really good employee, right? And as we're talking here, and I'm talking surrender, all of a sudden, I get this idea that surrendering to a higher power, it means more than just giving it to him. It means thanking him too. If I see, because I'm in a funk right now and I can't see a way out right now. So I'm not in surrender. That's me doing it. That's me taking over. That's me thinking knowing what's good for me. That's me wanting to run the show. When I surrender, a type of surrender is to say, thank you that you're making a way where I see no way. Thank you that we've been here before and you got me out. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you, you're not like people. That's surrendering too. To be able to be grateful in the moments where I don't see anything to be grateful about, to get out of myself, to open my eyes, to get out of this future tripping and get present and look around and be like, my God, I have a home. I can wash right now if I want. I can dry right now if I want. I can take a shower if I want. I can go lay down in my bed right now. I have a really nice apartment. I have a roommate who's like, I got lucky with this one, okay? And I've been through several roommates. This is a good one. And I still have a job. Just because I have a day off tomorrow it's not going to crush me. I've already worked 5 days. I've already worked my 40 hours. So I should be off tomorrow and I should be okay with it and not be scared. So thank you for my day off. Thank you that I could probably go hiking. Thinking I could probably do more laundry. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Just thanking my higher power is surrendering. Because I'm surrendering this idea, what if, how come, why not, into thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That is surrendering too. That is another type of surrendering. And it just came to me right now as we're reading. This is not, I don't practice these talks. I pray before I get on here. And I say thank you when I get off. But I don't practice. This is not script. It's in my opinion, it's live, but you don't get it live because I upload it. But it's filmed live. That's why you get to hear my dogs come in. That's why sometimes you'll see my roommate pass by. That's why the fans off or on. It's live. Like I am filming this in front of an audience. And to be able to have that moment with you guys, it just changed the trajectory of my day. Because I was getting nervous, my mind was going crazy, and right now it's not. There's some kind of peace right there. There's some kind of peace in my mind that says, it's gonna be okay, Chris. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be beyond that, right? You're gonna be blessed. I mean, you're highly favored. I mean, you're God's favorite, Chris. And I used to say that a lot, and I've forgotten. So maybe you're dealing with something right now and you don't know what to do. It's okay to not do nothing. Or maybe you don't trust yourself with the choices that you're making right now because you made a lot of wrong choices. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. I've been there too. I felt like I made a lot of wrong choices in 2022, and now I want to make a choice and I get nervous. But I'm not in the same place, and I bet you're not either. Right? Seek guidance if you can. If you find a 12-step meeting, or maybe somebody at your church, or a therapist, maybe a close mom's friend, somebody you really trust who knows everything about you, who's never left you astray. Talk to somebody about your thoughts. Talk to a higher power. It's God, awesome. Talk to somebody. Pray. I mean, there's a million prayers you could pray. Every religion I know prays. Therapists pray. Probation officers pray. My sponsor prays. And he's an atheist and he prays. There's something out there. There is something and they help you. It's not like people. It's not like anything you've ever known. Or maybe you do know. What am I talking about, right? Maybe you know more about this higher power thing than I do. That's freaking awesome. And maybe you don't get off the emotional beam as many times as I do. That's awesome too. I admire that about you. But for me, I'm still on the road. I'm still trudging. I'm still learning a lot about me. I'm still surrendering. I'm still reading this book because it helps me. I'm still in it. I'm still in it. And I'm grateful. I'm really, really grateful. And you know what's really cool? That tomorrow's entry is called a thankful heart. Yeah. Heart posture is real big. It's real big. Do you know that you could pray on your knees and just to look good and not mean anything you say? I've learned that. My friend told me something about, oh, Chris, you're trying to look good. You can't keep up with that lifestyle anymore. And I gave into that, and I was like, man, that's true. That's true. You know, I'm just trying to look good and I can't keep up with the lifestyle. Maybe that's what's happening. And then today I was thinking, I was like, man, Chris, if you had to, you would. But I believe, I'm talking to myself, right? I'm telling myself this, Chris, if you had to, you would. Of course you would. Of course you would downsize. Of course you'd go to a different place. Of course you'd move to a different town. If you had to, you would. But I believe that you were made for greater things. And this is not lap of luxury. It just happens that all the rent is like that where I live. About 90% of it. I could probably go find something cheaper if I had to, but I know why I stay here. It has nothing to do with looking good. It doesn't. If it did, my apartment would look totally different. It would have a lot more furniture. And I would have parties to show my place off. But that's not what I do. Because to me, it's not about looking good. It's about knowing that I'm worth it. It's about knowing that I'm worth it. It's about knowing that I'm comfortable. It's about knowing that I get to wash my clothes whenever I want. It's about knowing that I get to have heat and air conditioning when I want. This is beyond. This is my little treat for myself. But it's not to keep up with the Joneses. I could never do that. I mean, I could be a Jones, and y'all could be trying to keep up with me, but I don't know what God has. I don't even understand that. But what I know is that there's some things that I really do because I want to do them. Not just to look good. It's because I really want to do them. Right now is one of my knees is messed up, and I've never wanted to pray on my knees so bad like I have this past couple of weeks, and it's so painful. It's painful for me because my knees messed up to get on my knees and pray. But I do it. I do it because I feel like doing it. I have a roommate, but most of the time I'm alone, so nobody knows what I do. So all this stuff that I do when nobody's watching is because I want to do it. It's my character. The stuff that I do because people are watching, that's my personality. And sometimes it sucks, but it's the truth. That's my vulnerableness coming out. Folks, it's been 29 minutes. I appreciate, thank you for listening to me. Bear with me. I know these are probably not my best videos, but I'm in a very sensitive time right now. I feel even more sensitive right now than I did when, my mom died and when my sister died. Like there's something really happening within me. I've been praying on it. I'm doing the work, the 12-step work, the 4-step and the 5th step with the sponsor. I'm talking to close friends. I'm staying out of bars. I'm not going to dances. I'm not watching too much television. It's just, I just need this space right now. And I am so glad that I get to share it with you guys. And if you're still on here and you're still thinking like, man, I want to tune in. I'm okay with it. Then I want to say thank you because you are watching me go through some stuff and I'm not feeling smart and probably not even sounding smart or wise or knowledgeable or anything. But I'm still in the game. I'm still sober. I haven't drank or drugged today. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to stay as far away of anything like that as I possibly can. Anything triggering like a movie or restaurant or people. Just kind of hanging out just a little bit to give myself some personal space and time to get through what I'm getting through right now without hurting myself or hurting anyone around me. So thank you for tuning in. Sorry my eyes are swollen. I think I need more water in my life or something. Everybody who sees me tries to give me advice on my baggy eyes. I don't know what it is. But anyway, I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful that you're watching, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you. If you want to share this, go ahead. Somebody might need it. Somebody could use it. It's not very encouraging, but if somebody can handle 30 minutes of me just talking about foolishness. Actually, it's not foolishness, it's my life. But something raw, or just put it like that. It's raw. It's raw. It's not very wise, it's not very knowledgeable, it's not very smart, but it's raw. It's what I'm going through right now. And I'm staying sober through it. So I hope it would help somebody, encourage somebody that we can do this. We can do it without drinking. They told me when I first got here that I never had to drink again if I didn't want to. And then later on they told me I didn't have to drink again even when I did want to. So bottom line is I never have to drink again. And I've done enough research to where I'm willing to fight for this. Even if it means spending some alone time with just me and God, my dogs. I don't know. Reading. I've been reading a lot. Writing. I started a book in 2020, and it's been really strong in my heart to write a book. And I don't know if I'm supposed to continue that book or write a whole different book, but I'm really trying to get through that right now. I don't know if it's get through that, but really try to figure out like, what do you mean write a book? Like write a book about what? About being transgender? Write a book about adversity? Write a book about not fitting in? Write a book. I've always wanted to write a book about, you know how people say we're on the same boat? I want to write a rebuttal to that quote. We aren't, you know, people say we're all in the same boat. And I want to write a book that says, no, even if it's a short book, small one, it's like, no, get off the boat. Don't be on this. I don't want to be on that boat with you. I don't want to be in the same boat. I don't want to be in the sinking boat. I don't want to be in that boat where we're all struggling. I don't want to be in that boat. Do I struggle? Yeah. Do you struggle? Yeah. But I feel like staying in the boat is dangerous. Golly, so much stuff is making sense to me right now. No wonder God said, you know, when they were going through the storm, and God says, come to me, focus on me, and come. And the guy got out of the boat, started walking on water, and people were like, oh my God, you can't drown. Oh my God, come back. And he's walking on water because he's focused on God. And as soon as he starts looking down, he starts sinking. I want to write a rebuttal to that statement. And I want to be like, get off the boat. Get out that boat. And that could be any boat. You know, you could be in a boat full of millionaires who are cheating the system. Do you want to be on that boat? You could be on a boat of people just feeling sorry for themselves. Do you want to be on that boat? Do you want to be on a boat full of people getting high and drunk and using needles. Friends, I have family on that boat. And I wish with all my heart that they would get off the boat. I pray one day they get off that boat. And not fall prey to that we're all in the same boat. Condemnation. We're not. Are we? This is why I say recovery. I know I'm getting long-winded, but this is why I see recovery like this. Right? This is you, this is me. Right? And that's when we meet right here. Right here. You could be going up and I could be going down. And vice versa. And when we meet right there, that's when we help each other. That's when we help each other and be like, I've been there. This is what helped me. Or I could be like, my God, I'm struggling hard. Can you just help me process my thoughts? That's what I want to be a part of. Recovery life. And in that scenario, there is no boat. There's no boat. It's like little fishes swimming in the sea of life, like that. Sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down. I could be up today, you could be down today. We can both be up at the same time. Those are the kind of things that I would rather push than we're all in the same boat. That is a tough card to play. If you're playing that card today, or if you find yourself playing that card at some point in your life, and just you hear it or you think it, man, we're all in the same boat. Yeah, but you can get off. You can get off that boat at any time. Because usually if people are saying we're all in the same boat, it's not a good boat. That I have yet to hear somebody use that phrase in a positive way. If people say we're all in the same boat, whoa. You know what? Yeah. I'm not gonna stay on this boat. Some of it is up to us, folks. We could pray and pray and pray and pray and pray, but we still gotta do something. Even if, it doesn't have to be so much effort or strenuous. It's just gotta be something. It doesn't even have to be anything having to do with that whatever thing that you're praying for. It could be something totally different. Isn't that strange? How this world works? Man, talk about the paradoxes. Right? There's one of my favorite ones that say the more dependence we have on God, the more independent we are. What? The more dependent on Him, the more independent I really am? You mean I'm not giving it up? I'm not giving up all my life? If I do a third step prayer, if I say I'm gonna give my life to God, you mean I'm not losing everything? Becoming an identity? No, you're not losing everything. Actually, you're actually gaining your independence, because if you're dependent on Him and with all your worries and all your frustrations, you're more independent to do whatever else, and has nothing to do with that. Right? If I were to apply that, right, what I just said, if I get out of here and I apply that to my life, I can say, okay, God, I don't know what next week is gonna be like. I may or may not have hours. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. I will leave that up to you. I know that you're working it out. Even though I can't see it, I know that you're working it out. You've always worked it out. Everything is always working out. And I'm just going to let you do that. And in the meantime, I'm going to go get a haircut. I'm going to wash my clothes. I'll play with my dogs. I'm going to do something that brings me joy. And I'm not going to worry about that. Isn't that crazy? It doesn't even have anything to do with my job, but I'm going to go do it. And I'm going to let God do what God does, and I'm going to go do what I do. And what do I like to do? Have fun. Carry the message. Go eat. Hang out with my friends. It's so simple, yet. Thank you for listening. I got a lot of my answers that I needed today by sharing with you. Just some stuff which I felt was going to mean nothing. And maybe you're watching this 10 years down the road, maybe 5 years, maybe next month, maybe in 2 days. I don't know. But from talking with you, some answers have come to light. Thank you. Thank you for listening. May you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon.